as soon as the mayor joins us. So I just want to let everybody know, if you want to get a beverage, we've still got some coffee and tea and water. And so we look forward, and thank you again for joining us, and we'll start the program shortly.
So we are going to go ahead and get started here. So if everybody can just grab a seat, that would be great. All right, good morning, everybody. Thank y'all so much for showing up today. We have a great turnout, and we are all celebrating what would have been Juanita Craft's 120th birthday today. My name's Abby Smith, and I'm one of the Junior League of Dallas Centennial Project Managers for the Juanita Craft House, along with Susanna Foote Carrillo and Jasmine Price, if y'all can do a little wave. Today, we want to celebrate Ms. Craft, honor her contributions to our city and civil rights as a whole, and continue to spread her legacy throughout the city of Dallas and beyond. Sorry about that. Today, you're going to hear from Mayor Eric Johnson, as well as the Junior League of Dallas, the Friends of Juanita Craft Civil Rights House, and the City of Dallas Office of Arts and Culture. These incredible leaders are working in close partnership to rehabilitate the historical home of Juanita Craft located in South Dallas. I would first like to introduce Sarah Jackson, Junior League of Dallas Centennial Project Chair for the Juanita Craft Civil Rights House.
Thank you, Abby. Really appreciate that. Good afternoon. It is so great to see so many of you here in this space celebrating civil rights leader Juanita Craft. As Abby told you, I am representing the Junior League of Dallas as the project chair for this effort and initiative that we've undertaken over the last 2 years. As you know, Junior League is in our centennial year. And so with that, I would like to introduce our centennial president, Krista Sanford. And also our Centennial Committee co-chairs. I know I saw Margot Goodwin, who also doubles as the mayor of Highland Park. And Andrea Cheek. I'd also, with that, this is our leadership team, and you've already met our project team who's undertaken all this work. And so we can start this program, and while you're all here, I would first like to acknowledge many members of the Dallas City Council that are with us, and then I will invite the mayor and some of his colleagues from the council to speak. But first, I'm looking straight at Councilman Casey Thomas, former president of the NAACP, who's also been very active on the efforts with Juanita Craft. So let's please give him a hand. Standing next to him is Councilman Tanel Atkins, who has also been very helpful. Thank you. Let's give him a hand. Next to him, I see the Deputy Mayor Pro Tem, Jaime Resendez. Thank you for joining us. And then I'm going to go next to Councilman Paul Ridley. Thank you for being here today as well. And right behind you, I see Councilwoman Kara Mendelson. Thank you for joining us. And we've got to get the claps in for everybody, so thank you. I also see, I'll double to speed it along. I see Councilwoman Janie Schultz. Councilman Adam Magoo, I see right in front of me. And then going over here, I see Councilman Omar Narvaez. Councilman that represents the home where Juanita Crafts is located, District 7, Councilman Adam Bazaldua. I see Councilwoman Paula Blackman standing there as well. And lastly, and we'll hear from her in a minute, Councilwoman Gay Donnell Willis, who along with Councilwoman Blackman double as Junior League of Dallas Sustainers. Thank you both for your service. So now did I miss any council members before I proceed? Okay, I want to make sure I caught everybody. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome our 60th mayor of Dallas, not unfamiliar to anyone in this room, Eric Johnson.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. On behalf of the Dallas City Council, who you all just got to meet, I want to say welcome to your City Hall. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to start off by noting that it's Black History Month, and that you cannot talk about Black History Month in Dallas without talking about Juanita Craft. Through marches and demonstrations, through civic engagement, through public service, Juanita Craft dedicated decades of her life to making this city better. That pursuit of public service, including, appropriately, as a member of the Dallas City Council, resonates very deeply with me. Public service means putting yourself on the line, publicly and working within the system to change the system in tangible and practical and long-lasting ways. Juanita Craft very famously said that she had no children, so instead she adopted the world. And I'm grateful that she adopted this world and this city. Today, it's difficult to imagine a world where I wouldn't be allowed to go to the State Fair of Texas, a place that my family loves very much and looks forward to every single year. It's even harder to fathom the idea that my 3 children would be barred from going to school with some of your children in this room, simply because, in both cases, because we have a different skin color. But that, in fact, was the city that my parents and grandparents grew up in, and that, sadly, was their world. However, while we still face many challenges today, that was never my world, and that is because of the work undertaken by Juanita Craft and others like her during the Civil Rights era here in this city. That, my friends, is the true legacy of Juanita Craft. That is why our city council has committed to restoring her historic home as a place where that legacy can endure and that story can be told. And that is why I was proud to proclaim today as Juanita Craft Day in the city of Dallas. So thank you all so much for joining us in that. It was my honor and it was a privilege to do that, especially on what would have been her 120th birthday today. But I want to be clear, this proclamation is about more than commemorating a single day. It's about recognizing that generations of people have and will continue to benefit every day from her lifetime of work. And we still have plenty of work to do, make no mistake about it. The fight for fairness, the fight for opportunity, and for equality under the law, that fight didn't begin and it didn't end in Juanita Craft's lifetime. So it falls to all of us, everyone here in this room today, to carry that torch. It's up to us to continue that cause to which she dedicated her entire life. And that cause was the cause of lifting up this city together. And the work that all of you are doing to preserve her legacy is going to help us make Dallas the best city it can possibly be. So I want to say thank you to everyone here today. Thank you to the Dallas City Council and our Office of Cultural Affairs. Thank you to the State Fair of Texas. Thank you, of course, to the Junior League of Dallas, which selected the Craft House as their Centennial Project beneficiary. And I want to thank all of the Pan-Hellenic organizations that stepped up with their leadership and support as well. Together, we're working to build and rebuild something real so that we may live out our dreams and achieve our highest ideals in this city. So with that, I want to say thank you again. Thank you so much for that introduction, Sarah, wherever you are, there you are. And I'm going to now turn it over to my good friend and colleague and someone who's really led on this, my friend, Chairman Adam Bazaldua. Come on up here, Adam. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Yeah, come on, y'all. Good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor, and happy Juanita Craft Day. I just want to thank everyone for joining us here today on a very important, special day. I'm really happy to not only be here to celebrate, not only to have been given the opportunity to help champion the efforts of so many who have worked so diligently and devoted so much time to get this to where we are, but also to represent the district that she started the fight in. We have to vow, just as Mayor Johnson said, to keep the fight going. We often hear to be the change we want to see with the world, and I said earlier on the horseshoe that we have to look at this as a promise to keep being the change that Ms. Kraft wanted to see in this world. That's a vow I've made. That's a vow that I know the council has made with the actions that we have taken and will continue to take to continue that fight that Ms. Kraft started so long ago. Being able to open up the life and legacy of Ms. Kraft to generations to come of Dallasites is something that I think is invaluable, something that we can't really put into words. But I tell you, as a former educator of DISD, to know that some students grow up in this city and don't realize that we have such a hero right here at home. It is our job to change that. And that's exactly what we're doing with this project. So again, thank you to everyone who has been mentioned today. I don't want to forget anybody, so I'm not going to go through a laundry list of names. I do want to say thank you to Sarah for spearheading the efforts, not only with what we are celebrating today, but also with the exhibit that took place this past year at State Fair of Texas. How amazing is it to see that we have gone from a time in just one generation when Ms. Kraft organized picketing outside and said, we don't want an appeasement day. We went from that to having an entire exhibit in the Hall of State devoted to the change that she has brought our city. In addition to that, the State Fair of Texas, which is the entity that was picketed, has now named their scholarship after Ms. Kraft as the legacy that has come full circle. So it just speaks volumes to the amount of change that one individual can make, which is one of the parting words she left us, which was to remember that individuals can make change and to bring people back to her house, to inspire individuals to continue to making that change. And I think that that's exactly what we're going to continue to do with this project. I hope everyone in this room is going to be there when we cut the ribbon at the end of this year, and I look forward to that time. Thank you, Jennifer Scripps, for all of your support to get this to the finish line. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Really, I appreciate all your sweet words. It's truly been a team effort, especially with the Junior League partnering with a number of community partners with the exhibit at the Centennial at Hall of State that he was describing, as well as everything that we've done so far. And with that, I saw Councilwoman Carolyn King Arnold, I believe, still here. I wanted to make sure you were acknowledged. Thank you for joining us, Councilwoman. And now with that, I have to, as many of you know, there are junior leaguers working all over this community. Obviously, there are many of us who are still active members of the Junior League, so we're actively working on our community projects. But then there are people who sustain or become Junior League sustainers and go on to lead nonprofits, private sector organizations, public sector organizations, and many of you know their name and some of you don't. One of those individuals is Councilwoman Gay Donnell Willis, representing District 13. I would like to invite her up now to say a few words. She's been a great supporter of the league and our work with Juanita Kraft.
Thank you. I brought my Junior League sidekick, Paula Blackman, District 9, along with me. So I'm standing here as an elected official, but I want to tell you a little bit because I know that other organizations that are present here are going to be talking about their organizations more. And I thank Mayor Johnson and Councilmember Basil Dua for continuing to acknowledge the Juanita Craft House and indeed Ms. Craft on her 120th birthday. But I want to tell you a little bit about the Junior League and the pathway that it can lead you to. One of my first placements in Dallas was in the Parkland ER, working in triage. That's a unique opportunity, let me tell you, especially on full moon nights. Interfaith housing, counseling those transitioning from homelessness into housing and employment with their families. As a KB Polk project chair, working with the DISD and those students and parents to really help their organization, their school come together and really bind the parents with the teachers and the staff and the students to make it stronger for our community. Committees like Community Assistance Fund and what used to be called Public Affairs and evolved to Community Outreach, where acute needs were brought before us, emergencies that nonprofits were having, where the league could add the funding, but also vet that funding and make sure we were spending those dollars as wisely as possible. It allowed me the opportunity to become a community vice president, over 40 nonprofit agencies, 1,100 volunteers, 2 grant-making bodies for the community program and for grants for innovative teaching, giving out $1 million in the community. And at the moment when you can retire, something about it pulls you back and makes you say, I'm going to do the thing I said I'd never do, and that's ask people for money, which comes in handy as a politician. And so getting in at the bottom level, learning underwriting, learning how to tell a story of all those agencies that we serve, and going into the community to tell that story and to really link the people who can give with the people who are in need. And so organizing volunteers, raising money, serving the community, leading nonprofit organizations, leading the town of Highland Park, serving on the Dallas City Council. These are the things that the Junior League of Dallas can really play a role in your life to build you up. I think we're over 5,000 strong in this community, so that's really incredible, from the start of 40 women in 1922. But as you can imagine, today, standing here, having the league select the Juanita Craft House for the 100th anniversary for the Centennial Project, this intersection between what we are doing here today, Ms. Blackman, and seeing the league come in and play such an important role in this community to give this the attention it deserves, I'm just bursting with pride and love for this relationship that we've got. So thank you all for serving today. Really appreciate this opportunity to tell the story of what the league has meant to me, to us, and keep doing that good work in the community because we need you so badly. Thank you.
Need the mask. Definitely need the mask. So at this point, we are now I'm going to invite Mayor Johnson back up here to formally give the proclamation for Juanita Craft Day and in celebration of our 120th birthday to representatives from the Junior League, which will be our president, and also Candace Thompson, and then Jennifer Scripps, if you would like to bring a representative up here as well. The State Fair, unfortunately, cannot be with us today, but received a proclamation as well.
All right, I'm not going to read this proclamation, but suffice it to say, it's an official proclamation of the City of Dallas from the Office of the Mayor that declares today officially in the City of Dallas as Juanita Craft Day. So I want to make sure I present this to the Junior League and to all those who made this possible. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanted in these photos? Did you want to?
Thank you.
Okay, now actually, Mayor, stay with us. Now the moment that most of you have been waiting for, the photo op. So if you would, please come up here. We're going to have our official photographer. What are you thinking? Just like right here? Or do we need to get on the steps?